Hey everyone, so it's Monday night and I'm gonna be making Philly cheesesteak onion rings for dinner. So I don't know how quick or long this video is gonna be, but I'm just gonna show you. I got the oven preheating to 450 degrees. I have 2 bags of onion rings right here, the panko breaded ones. Usually I only make 1 bag, but I'm probably gonna give some of this to my mom, so I'm doing 2. I put some frozen pepper strips in a pan with a little bit of vegetable oil. I normally would use no oil at all, but I had a thing of vegetable oil that I wanted to use up so I could recycle the container because I got a new one. And so I just poured a tiny bit in there, whatever was left in the container, and I put a can of button mushrooms in here too, which I didn't add last time, but I am adding this time because I just found out that I had a can of button mushrooms and they look like this, so I'm just gonna chop them up and put them in here. So that's the first step, so I'll come back for the next one. Okay, so I have my mushrooms and my peppers heating up in the pan, and I'm also gonna add a little bit of onion. Whatever I have left in this container is what I'm gonna use. So because we're using onion rings, I don't need to use that much onion, but I want to use this up because it's all that I have left in here. If you don't have one of these and you want to get something like this, the only thing I can say is don't turn it to lock it. Just leave the arrows like this and leave it in your fridge, because I got this from my friend's house. She was moving and she gave me this one and a pepper saver. And for me, it's easier because I don't have to waste a Ziploc bag every time. And I know exactly where the onions are because it's in the little onion container. So I've been using that for about a year now, and I like using that. So I'm going to use the rest of the onion. Then I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to put some garlic powder. I'm not going to put too much salt because the onion rings are going to be salty, and I'm going to add the salt and pepper to the beef shaved steak. That's what you also need to make this. So I got a pound of this, which is really, this stuff is always really good. It's fresh, I feel, and it always looks really good. It's nice and red, and it never looks brown, at least the ones I buy. So yeah, I'm going to let this cook down a little bit, and the oven's preheating still, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I added some pepper and some garlic powder. I mixed it around, and now it looks like there's more mushrooms than there are peppers because they're shriveling up. So I wasn't sure, so I didn't use the rest of the bag, but I'm going to add the rest of this mixed pepper strips that I have. And I have only like about this much left. They're frozen. That's what I do. Well, they come frozen. But I'm going to use the rest of that bag up. And if you want exact measurements, I'm loosely basing this off of the recipe that came from the brand name onion ring website. So I will link that down below so you guys can see like the measurements for if you'd like to. But you can make this however you want. However you make Philly cheesesteak at home, just take off the bread and use the onion rings, and it'll be the same. So there, that looks like a better amount. So I'm going to let that cook down a little bit more. And the oven is preheated, so let me get the onion rings on the cookie sheet and then I'll show you that. Okay, so here are the onion rings out on the cookie tray. I tried to arrange them the best way I could. I don't like to double up that much, but I only have one more cookie tray like this, so this is just 1 bag. So that's what I mean when I say, like, if it's just a few people, you could do with 1 bag. But since I'm going to give some to my mom, I figured I would get 2 bags. So this is still going. I'm going to get these in the oven, put the other one in the tray, put that in the oven. And in case you want to see the nutritional facts, it says serving size about 4 pieces is 240 calories and then 28 carbs. So I don't know, somehow they said that this was supposed to be like a low carb meal, so that's what we're going with. So that's why I decided to make this again, because we've been trying to eat like a little bit better. So yeah, it's just panko I mean, panko onion rings. You could probably just cook the onion rings without the breading if you wanted to. You could do that too. And then it'd just be like in a bowl, eat it in a bowl. So anyway, I'm gonna get the onion rings going because those take about 20 minutes. It says, well, this says bake for 10 minutes, turn and bake additional 5 minutes. But the real recipe says like 18 minutes or something. But like I said, I'm going to link that down below so you could check that out. Okay, so I got the second tray of onion rings on, and I'm going to put those in the oven. I'm going to turn the heat off of this, take out all this, put it in a little bowl, and then I'm going to add the shaved steak to the pan. So let's do that. Okay, so I opened the shaved steak and I'm just like grabbing some and putting it in the pan. And this is gonna cook really, really fast. So I don't know. I haven't really figured out the best way to get this like out of the package without just like separating it with my hands. I just washed them. So yeah, I mean, I don't like to overcrowd the pan, but it does shrink up. So, and I lowered the heat to number 3 just because I don't want it to cook so fast before I can like flip it. You know what I mean? But this steak is always so like fresh looking. That's what I'm saying. Like if you have this brand by you, check it out. And I hate touching raw meat. Tell me anybody who does. It's hard to do one-handed. Let me get it all out so it doesn't go down the drain. Okay, so I'm going to keep that cooking and let me clean this up now. Okay, so what I did was I took a knife and the spatula and I kind of broke up the meat so it made like little bite-sized pieces of meat. So that's what I did to shred it up in the pan, and you see you get a lot more when you do that, and it's just in little chunks now. So I'm just letting it cook. The onion rings are ready to be flipped. The timer went off. I'm going to use a different spatula and I'm going to take those out and flip them. And since there's 2 pans, I'm going to rotate the pans as well. So let me do that real quick and then I'll come back. Okay, here are the onion rings. They are sizzling and they are hot. I can see that they're steaming. They're a little bit floppy now. So I'm just going to rotate them, flip them over. I like kind of crunchy ones, and I feel like these never get crunchy like the other ones that I used to buy, but maybe that's just because they're panko. So I'm going to flip these. I didn't spray the pan with anything, so if they stick, that's why. But okay, there's the first tray. I'm going to flip the next tray, put them back in, give it some time, and let this finish cooking. Okay, so our meat is almost done cooking. So I'm just waiting for a little bit of it to finish with the pink spots. And I lined a cookie sheet with aluminum foil because the sheets that the onion rings are on don't have edges. And we're going to add cheese to this, so I'm going to stack the onion rings in here and then pile everything on top of it. So I want the onion rings to get kind of crispy. I don't know if they are. They kind of are. Here's what they look like in the oven. The oven's really hot. I'm just going to leave these in here until I know that the meat is completely done. And it's almost done. I don't want to overcook it, but I probably already did. I got a new spatula because I'm kind of weird like that. Like, it's almost cooked, so I don't want to put the other spatula back in it. So, and then here's the vegetables. So once I go to put everything together, I will show you guys. Well, I need to get the cheese out too. Okay, so what I decided to do was use the tongs that I got the onion rings out with. So here's the pan, and then I'm gonna double layer the onion rings because I don't have that big of a cookie sheet. So we're just gonna make it work somehow. So they should be okay. I know you guys probably can't see that good. I'm just Trying to stack them a little nicely in here. They didn't get super crispy. I think that's just how the panko onion rings work. They don't get super duper crispy. So I'm gonna get them off. They're kind of sticking. It looks good. Okay. So I probably could have made like 2 layers. I noticed the onions, like they almost steam. I don't know if it's because there was too many on the plate, the cookie sheet. Sorry for this terrible filming. I'm just trying not to burn myself. So I'm just getting the bits of the onion rings off and putting it on the cookie sheet. So once it's like that, try to even it out. Now we're gonna top it with everything. So here's the meat. So I'm just gonna top it, try to top it evenly. I turn the heat off for that. I'm just gonna put it over top. I dropped a piece back there, crap. I never do that, and now this happened twice in the last week that I dropped something in between the stove and the wall. I hate that. Now I gotta get it out. Okay, so you get the idea. So I'm gonna top it with that, and then I'm gonna top it with this, which has been sitting on the stove the whole time, so it's still warm. So I'm gonna do all that, and then I'll come back. Okay, here's what it looks like once it's topped with everything. It looks really good. And then your cheese of choice, you can put all over the top of it. So I'm gonna use what I have, which is Munster cheese, and I'm just gonna lay it all over the top. My mom said, I think the recipe calls for provolone, but I'm just gonna use this cheese and put it on the top like this. This cheese sticks together. Okay. We'll do 2 more. I'm trying to push it down a little bit so it doesn't make a huge mess in the oven. Okay, so there it is, covered with that. So now you have to put it in the oven on broil for high for like 1 to 2 minutes. So let me get it in there and I'll show you guys. Okay, so I know the oven is pretty dirty on the glass, but you can see inside I have it on broil and I put it on high. It's also 450 degrees in there, so it's already hot. So let's watch the magic as the cheese melts, and you have to watch this or it will burn. So let's watch. There we go, everybody. It doesn't look that pretty. The cheese didn't get super brown and bubbly, but, well, it did get bubbly, but I didn't want the onion rings to burn with the broil. Like, if you don't know what broil is, it's basically just like the top of the oven is what cooks. So that's why the cheese melts super fast and why it also burns really easily and fast. So if you wanted, you could, take this top layer, and then if you have more, add more cheese and do the same thing. But yeah, you just have to watch it when you're broiling. But there it is. So this is the Philly cheesesteak onion rings. It's super easy. It doesn't take that much time at all. I eat this with ketchup, but you could eat it plain or with whatever you wanted. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll leave the recipe down below. Let me know if you guys make it. If you do, let me know, and let me know what you think of it. And happy eating dinner. Today's Monday, so only the start of the week. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.